Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. So guys, in today's tutorial I'm going to take you along how to make this trendy Ankara baggy trousers. So guys, it has an elastic by the waistline and it also has two rope by the waistline to girdle it together. It also has two side pockets and you can see that it's looking so nice. So guys, if you are ready, don't forget to subscribe, like, and if you have any question as we go by, please do also drop it in the comment section. And if you're ready guys, let's just get into the video. So the first thing to do is to fold the Ankara fabrics into two. This will be for the front. In order to fold the Ankara fabrics into two, what you will do is your hips measurement divided by 4 for this is 10. Add about 4 to 5 inches depending on how baggy or how full you want the trousers to be. The next thing to mark is the elastic rack folding. So for this we'll be using about 2 inches. So just mark the 2 inches out. The next measurement to be taken is the crouch line, and for us to get the crouch line of these baggy trousers, your hips measurement divided by 4 for this is about 10. Then go ahead and add 2 inches allowance. So we'll be using 12 inches instead of 10 because it's a baggy trousers and it does not need to be tight at all at the crouch line. So we're using 12 inches, and this crouch line we're using for the front is the same thing we'll be using for the back. We'll be marking out the 12 inches. For us to get the crouch extension is the hips measurement divided by 4, that is 10, divided by 4 again, that is about 2.5. We'll mark the 2.5 inches. Come out with about 1 inches, then connect the crouch extension. Our hips line is 8 inches, starting from the starting point, 8 inches from the starting point. So like I said from the start, for us to fold the fabric into two, we divide our hips measurement by 4, then we go ahead and add extra 4 or 5 inches. So having done that, what we have in our hips line is about 11.5. We are going to use the same thing also at the waistline. So we don't need to shape anything else here. At the crouch extension here, you can just go inward with about half inches. Then having gone inward, we connect it down to the hem of the trousers. The length of the trousers is 40 inches. Then we had about 1.5 inches seam allowance. So the gist about these trousers is that it does not necessarily need a lot of shaping. In as much as you can get your hips measurement divided by 4, then you had about 4 or 5 inches, you are good. You don't need to shape out any hips line or waistline. The same measurement we use at the hip line, repeat the same measurement at the waistline. That is because we are still going to add an elastic band here, so it's going to pull the waist together. So once you do that, just shape out the crouch line. Take about 1.5 inches and shape it down to the hem of the trousers. All by this side, you don't need to shape anything else. You don't even need to measure your time measurement because it's going to be accurate for us to have added about 4 or 5 inches. And now we've done this, the next thing to do is just to cut it out. Okay. So having cut it out, the next thing we want to do is just to mark out where our pocket will sit. And for us to mark that out, starting from the starting point here, go down with about 2 inches, rule out the 2 inches, and from the 2 inches, go downward with about 7 inches, thus. So from this place to this place is where the pocket will sit, and the next thing for us to do is just to launch it. Go ahead and launch it like this. So this place that we launch is where the pockets will be sitting. Place a launch here to know where the elastic rack folding will be ending. Starting from where the elastic rack folding will be ending here, we go down with about 1 inches like this, and we place a launch at this side. So this place that we launch out is where the rope is going to pass through for the front. Also to cut out the back, go ahead and fold the fabrics into two like this. Then we'll place one panel of the front on it. So having done that, at the crouch line here, go ahead and add about 1 inches. So for the crouch extension for the back, we'll be using about 3 inches instead of 2.5. We don't need to increase the crouch line. That is the reason why we have considered the back also at the front. So maintain the same crouch line of the front also at the back. Then at this side, go ahead and add about 1 inches. Is to cut it out. With this, we are done cutting both the front and the back panel, the pocket, And for us to do that, go ahead and measure about 14 inches. But for this one, I'll be using about 12.5. That's because I'm managing the Ankara fabrics. So mark out the 14 inches. For the width of the pocket, we'll be using about 7 inches. Mark the 7 inches. From the starting point of the pocket, go down with about 9 inches. Mark out the 9 inches. Then make a cuff around it to cuff out the pocket. So I've cut out the second pocket, though I'll be joining this by this side because I'm managing the fabrics. So this is the two pockets. The rope that will be passing through the band of the trousers, ensure that it's long enough to go across the band and it will still be remaining outward. For the rope will be 2 pieces. We're going to be joining this together to make it long enough. Just ensure that the rope can pass through the whole band without falling inward. So make sure that it's very long. So for the sewing, the first thing to do is to prepare the pocket, and to prepare the pocket, we make the right side of the pocket face outward like this. Close it and we make sure that it's properly aligned. Then having done that, we are going to use a French seam to stitch down this lower place. Having stitched it at the right side, we open it up to the left side, then we go ahead and top stitch it. The next thing to do is to attach the pocket to the front side of the trousers. Directly at where we launch for the pocket opening, we go upward with about 1 inches. We mark the 1 inches out like this. We take our pocket and we make it go upward above where we launch for the pocket opening. We can just go ahead and also launch the pocket around that area. So just like this, we have launched the pocket as well. So starting from where we launch, we go ahead and stitch it all the way to the second launch, just like the way it's appearing by the camera. We open it up to the other side, then we can just go ahead and top stitch it. The way it appears by the camera, and I also run a top stitch here, and this is how it looks like. So this side of the pocket is where we are going to attach the back panel of the trousers to. I will just repeat the same thing for the second panel of the front trousers. So having attached the pocket of both panels of the front, the next thing for us to do is to join the crouch line. So to join the crouch lines, from the beginning to where we mark out for the elastic rack folding, we are going to run a direct stitch. Then for this place that we launch out for the rope, we are going to launch it out. Then we are going to open up the trousers like this. Having opened it up, we are going to open up the place we launch out. Then we are going to run a direct stitch here. Then having done that, we'll continue the sewing, and I'm just going to use that to join the crouch line. So I was supposed to show this, but my camera went off, and I'm so sorry for that. From this place to this place, open this place up, sew this side, then continue the sewing all the way to the crouch extension. This opening is where the rope is going to pass through for the front. So the next thing to do is to join the crouch for the back, and for us to do that, from this place that we launch out for the elastic rack folding, we'll go down with about 1 inches, then we'll join the remaining part of the crouch. Having joined the crouch of the back, go ahead and open it up to the right side. Make the right side of the back panel face the right side of the front panel. Then having done that, we are just going to go ahead and join this side. To go ahead and fold the elastic rack folding, we fold it, then we'll just go ahead and stitch it down. Side in which the pocket is, we can just use our hand to balance it well, and we'll pass the elastic rack holding on it. The next thing to do is to go ahead and stitch the rope, which I've already done. Then having done that, from this place that we open for the rope, go ahead and input the rope. Just use an office pin to secure it with the fabrics. Just going to open this up, then we'll go ahead and pass in the elastic. So guys, this is how it looks like after passing the rope and passing the elastic. So this process can be a little bit quite stressful, but just take your time. Then when you get to the end of this place, both the rope and the elastic, you just stitch everything down with the crouch line. So for us to finish up the trousers, I'll just go ahead and hem the lower part of the trousers. Then after hemming it, I'll go ahead and join the lower part of the crouch.